Alright, what we're going to talk about now is piecewise functions. For starters, it's a function, and what that means is we're going to only have one answer for every x value. Okay, the reason, if you look at piecewise, you should see the word piece up here, and that's what it basically means. It's a function that comes in parts. So this is a piecewise function right here. Alright, this piecewise function comes in three parts. There's this part, x plus 2, when x is less than negative 1. X squared when negative 1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 1, and x minus 3 when x is greater than or equal to 1. So what we're going to do is the part after the commas, this part right here, is basically look here to determine which part to plug in the x values into. So this is kind of like, this is basically dealing with our domain. Alright, so it's the x values that we're going to use and where we have to plug in those x values. So when we're looking at this one, if we're trying to find some x value, some function values, so if we're trying to find f of negative 2, we look and say, which of these inequalities would negative 2 fall into? And for this one, it's going to fall into the top one, because negative 2 is less than negative 1. So what we do is we perform only the operations that are modeled by these x's. So this is telling us to add 2. So what we'll do is we'll come down here, we'll say negative 2. Sorry, I'm using a tablet here instead of what I normally do, which is right on my board in my classroom. So what we should figure out is that f of negative 2 is equal to 0. So that is the only value that you will get for negative 2. It is a piecewise function, so therefore you only get one x value. If we're talking about 0, okay, 0 is not less than negative 1, but it does fall into this category. So what we'll do is we'll plug it in here. Well, this is telling us to square x. So we plug in 0, we'll square 0, and we also get a function value of 0. Alright, looking at the next one, well, this time what we're going to do is we're going to try to find f of 1. Well, 1 does not fit into this category, it fits into the bottom one. So here it's telling us to take that 1 and subtract 3. So when you do that, you get an answer of negative 2. Alright, and last one, f of 4. Again, f of 4, 4 is going to be greater than or equal to 1. So therefore, we're going to plug it into this one. Okay, so our operation tells us to subtract 3. So when we say 4 minus 3, we get an answer of, sorry, I'm getting used to using this tablet here, of 1. Alright, so that's basically finding function values of a piecewise function. Things to remember, you only get one answer. Look at the part after the commas to determine which function we plug it into, and then do the math to get your answer.